Good evening and welcome to the Whisky Lover Society with me, Gert Retief. And tonight we continue with our series on budget whiskies. Whiskies for under €60, $60, £60. Also, big shout out and thank you for the subscribers and for all the people that made some comments on the whiskies and made some suggestions for other whiskies within the budget range. I really appreciate it. We are standing now at 425 subscribers, so I'm quite happy about that. Hopefully I can get up to 500 before the end of my first year on YouTube. Cannot believe how time has fly. I think on the 21st of February it will be 1 year, so help me to get to that 500 mark and maybe even to the 1000 mark so that I can be monetized. Of course, all the money for that proceeds will go towards the children in South Africa. And that reminds me, I do have a Patreon account, I have a Buy Me a Coffee account, I have a merchandise store, and of course 100% of that money that will come in the future will go towards needy children in South Africa. 100%. So on to tonight's whiskey. We are looking at the Penderyn, and it is called the Cymru. I had to go look up what it is. It means Welsh gold, and hopefully that it also translates into a nice gold into the whiskey itself. So it is the Penderyn Cymru Madeira finish. So I do like a little bit of a Madeira finish. I did a couple of whiskies with a Madeira finish, and I did kind of like it. So this is a Welsh whiskey. It is a single malt whiskey from the Penderyn distillery, matured in ex-bourbon casks and finished in the Madeira casks. Of course, natural color. A little bit on the color. So it is a natural color. It's non-chill filtered and it's bottled at 46% ABV. And I did a couple of Penderyn series before. So I did the Penderyn Sherrywood, which I kind of liked, and also the Rich Oak, which is also a fantastic whiskey. So Wales, they do make some nice whiskies. Maybe it's time to have a look at them as well. Price wise, I'm not so sure. I haven't looked to it, but I will put the link up over here so that you can see how much it costs. But I know it is less than the €60 budget that we have. So on the nose, cheers. Yeah. Now, this is my kind of whiskey. The first thing that I did note, which is a little bit of a strange one, was a little bit of an ashy note. Something quite similar like a cigarette ash or a tobacco ash, but just very faint, especially on the first pour. I got that. But it quickly disappears, and I get a little bit of a woody, oaky nose coming out. And something that's quite prominent is like a hard candy, maybe a mixture between a lemon and a little bit of an orange hard candies that's mixed in a bag, and you get that little sweet citrusy note coming out. So I do get also a little bit of that orange peel oil. So it's quite light on the nose. There is a little bit of a sweetness, but it's not an overly sweet one. I also, I'm not sure how old it is. It's a no-age statement whiskey. I get a little bit of that alcohol, and I get a little bit of a something like a furniture polish type of nose coming out. And now a little bit more sweetness also appearing. And a little bit of a fruity note also coming out now. A light fruity note, something similar to a Speyside, I would imagine. So I do get a little bit of a red apples, maybe a little bit of a Asian pears coming out. And then I get a little bit of a toffee note. As that all that fruity flavors seem to like disappear, and now I get like a rich toffee, um, and definitely a little bit of vanilla coming out from that ex-bourbon cask. Not so much on this on the Madeira cask, but I do get that sweet little sweetness of a Madeira wine. So really pleasant. Absolutely love the nose. But of course, we need to taste it as well. Cheers. It is really nice. A little bit thin. I was hoping for a little bit of a oily mouthfeel. So definitely not a oily or a creamy note. But it's nice. It's got the sweet, big toffee notes coming out. Let me just try again. On the first sip, I took a very small sip. It was 46% ABV. So I didn't get much of that alcohol. Second sip, I think I took a little bit too much. So it's quite hot. It's almost chili-like. A little hot pepper spices coming out. That just attacks the tongue, and but it quickly disappears, and it just leaves that nice sweet toffee notes in the end. Ooh, this is really nice. I think it's a good idea to add a little bit of water to this one, and I'm going to do that a little bit later on. But small sips, oh my word, this is fantastic. Let me just try again. With small sips, you also now I get maybe after that big attack of that too big sip. Now it's a little bit of a oakiness coming out, and a little bit of a creamy note actually is appearing now. A little bit surprised on this one. It reminds me a little bit of a little bit of a chocolate note in the end. Absolutely fantastic. So I think I'm just going to add a little bit of water. It's not an overly complex whiskey. So I'm going to be, well, maybe 2 teaspoons of water on this one. Just to see what it does with a little bit of water. It's always good to do the experiment. Remember, just a little water at a time. That does change a little bit on the nose. There's a little bit of a sweetness coming out. It is just a very pleasant on the nose. Water or no water, fantastic on the nose. Absolutely. Taste with water, also very good with the water. The oak tannins is a little bit less. It's not so aggressive on the tongue. The toffee notes are definitely there. A little bit of a pear note or apple note also coming out now. Let me just give it one more. Yeah, more fruity notes coming out with the water, but definitely I think the predominantly taste that I do get is a little bit of a toffee note. A little bit of a bitter note also coming out now, but quite balanced. So score-wise, I kind of like this one. I'm going to go big on this Penderyn, and I'm going to give it an 85 out of 100. Really nice, and I think they are ticking the boxes with the non-chill filtered. They are 46% ABV and no color added, so big thumbs up for them. I would definitely recommend it. Try it, buy it, thank me later, and remember to like and subscribe. Leave a comment. I really appreciate all the comments that I've received lately. So thank you very much for watching, and I see you next time. Cheers.